Hi, my name is Mackenzie, and today I'm going to be showing you how someone in the events business might use Finli to manage their business. As a quick refresher, Finli is a digital back office platform built for small businesses to help them manage a lot of the really manual and time consuming parts of running a business, like keeping track of customers, keeping track of pricing and inventory, sending quotes and invoices and bills, and of course, collecting all sorts of different forms of payment. One of the great things about Finli is that our platform was built for all types of businesses. But today I'm going to be showing you how Inventory Events, a fictional business that I created, might leverage the Finli platform. So, if you work in the event space, you probably are used to sending quite a few quotes to potential customers. And using the Finli platform, it is really easy to get those created and sent. And that's what I'm going to show you first today. So, this is your dashboard here. Over on the left is the navigation. And to get a quote started, we can either go to the quotes tab or create one using one of the options up here on the left hand side. First thing we're going to do is add our customer, and I can either create a new customer from within the quote builder, or I can select a customer that I've worked with before. I'm going to start building out this invoice by building the quote by adding a few different items here. So if we're planning a large event for Carrie, she might be doing some rentals, she might be doing some custom invitations and place cards. We might also have a setup fee included, or maybe we even have caterers that she's secured through our business who we're paying an hourly rate. So all of these things can be added to the quote, and we'll just go ahead and start by adding a few of these items here. Each of them can be customized. So she's going to need 200 custom invitations, and we're actually going to give her a new customer discount on those invitations since she's doing such a high volume and is one of our newer customers. We'll give that same discount to her on the custom place cards. As far as the white tables go, that is a rental cost that we are doing. So we're not going to give her any discounts there. Let's say we need 10 white tables and we need 100 white chairs. And then, of course, we'll also need 10 white tablecloths as well. And these are all for, let's say, 1 hour. Oops. 1 hour rental fee. So depending on how many hours this rental will go for, you can really set this up either way you'd like. You might set it up as a per hour fee and you can choose the number of hours, or you could set a fixed cost for however many hours they'll be renting for and then select the quantity here. But either way, we'll go ahead and add these all to our quote, and you'll see that a preview has populated over on the right-hand side. We can move all these around, so I can customize, what this looks like. And we also have the ability to add a discount or a surcharge to the entire invoice. So maybe you're charging a late fee or a deposit up front, or maybe you're giving a discount to a customer because they're booking so far in advance. You can also create new pricing items within the quote builder. So let's say we're also going to add a setup fee of $200, and I can add that to the invoice as well. And we'll just charge one setup fee. The other thing that you may have noticed is we also have inventory management built right into the quote builder. So over on the right-hand side, you can see that we have an available quantity for each of these items. And that's something that you can track and update within the pricing section of the dashboard. So if I were creating a new price item, I could elect to track inventory quantity and set how many I have on hand and what our reorder point is. In other words, when you'd like to be notified that it is time to restock. So if you're going to build an invoice or a quote and you're adding an item that is low quantity or out of stock, we'll let you know before you send that invoice. Awesome. So I'll just exit out of this here. I can add a message to my quote that will show up over on the bottom here. And I can go ahead and send out this quote to my customer. And they'll be notified either by email or SMS text message, depending on which contact method you add here. Cool. So we're back on the quotes tab. This shows all of our outstanding quotes. You can filter them based on their status. And once I send a quote to a customer, they will be able to approve or reject that quote. And then once that quote is approved or rejected, we can convert that in just a couple of clicks into an invoice. Up until it's approved, we can edit it, resend it, and at any point, we can grab that link. Maybe we're sending an email to a customer and including a couple different things. We can drop the link in there as well. I'll show you guys the invoice builder process as well. Maybe you aren't going through the quotes process or you're just sending someone an invoice right off the bat. As you can see, it looks very similar to the quote builder process, but there's a couple more options down here at the bottom. We can select if this if this series is recurring. So maybe you do a monthly lunch for a business. And so we want to keep the same invoice and have it repeat every single month at the end of the month. And we want those invoices to be sent out 5 days before the due date. We can set a time period that will run for or a specific date. There's really a lot of flexibility here in terms of automating some of those recurring payments that you have. And then lastly, you can choose what date you want the payment to be due on and what date you would like the invoice to be sent on. And you can also select a statement period. I'm not sure if this is something people in the events industry would use too much, but maybe if this invoice covers, all of the catering that you've done for a business over the course of 1 month or something like that, that would be an example. Awesome. So on our invoices tab, I'll just leave this as a draft here. You can see some of the ones that I've sent out previously. Once a payment is received for an invoice, it will show up as completed. And up until it is completed, you have the ability to edit it, resend it, send a link similar to quotes, or you can record an offline payment. So maybe a customer paid you via check. You could add the check number here and save that, and the invoice will show up as completed and paid. And then we can go ahead and view all of the payments associated there. Here's that offline payment that I just created. I can very easily send a customer a receipt or download the receipt for my records. And you can also view this payment history on the invoice details as well, and take those same actions from here also. As far as other parts of the dashboard go, there is a lot of great features built in within the customer tab. So you can add all of your customers' contact information here. You can add tags to help with your filtering and organization. And you can also add what we call service fors. So let's say you're working on a couple different projects for a customer. Maybe you're planning 3 different events for them, or the same event at 3 different locations, or whatever it might be. You're able to add those specific items, and on an invoice, you're able to specify, this item is related to this specific project. We also allow you to securely upload any notes or attachments. So maybe any contracts that you've entered into with these customers, or any notes that you want to keep, maybe that they like a specific type of arrangement, or they prefer this specific caterer, or whatever it might be. You can add those here as well. And all of this is collaborative with your teammates. So if you have a number of different employees at your company that are all sending invoices or interacting with customers, you can add them all to your Finli dashboard, and they'll be able to manage all of this. And then also within the customers tab, you can get a quick glance of any previous quotes or invoices or recurring series that you've set up. One last thing to call out here, within the pricing tab is where you can track your inventory. So as I showed you earlier, we can edit inventory from within the pricing tab. So let's say I just did a restock of the custom invitations. I could update this to $450, and it'll show that I made that change on the 25th of August. Couple other things to go over. Within your settings, you're able to customize a lot of the details about your business. You can edit your verified bank account, so where Finli is depositing funds. And one thing that is a little bit different about Finli than some other payment providers is all of our ACH or bank to bank transactions are completely free. We do also give customers the ability to pay via credit card, and we charge a 3% transaction fee on those payments. But you have the ability to decide if you would like to take on that fee yourself or if you'd like to pass it along to your customers. So if you choose to pass it along to your customers, on their invoice, they'll see the option to add a bank account, or they'll see the option to pay by credit card, and it will call out for them. Credit card has an additional 3% fee. We have a number of really great integrations to the Finli dashboard. One of the most popular is QuickBooks, which allows you to connect your accounting software. And anytime you send out an invoice or add a customer or collect a payment, all of that information gets synced across those two systems. You can also manage your subscription plan within your settings. As a reminder, Finli is $39 per month per business, and you can manage multiple businesses, and it's really easy to switch between them all. We have a great referral program as well. So if you refer a business that signs up for Finli, they'll get a month free, and you'll also get a month free. And then, as I mentioned earlier, you can add multiple different team members to your Finli dashboard who will all be able to send out invoices and view customer information. I know that was a super, super quick overview, but hopefully it is very clear to see how the Finli platform is a great resource for those within the events industry. And if you have any feedback or questions for us, please feel free to reach out to our team at support@finli.com. And thanks so much for taking the time to check out our platform.